Today my Copic coloring tutorial is going to be on how I color skin. This might be a little different from how some people do it because I like to use a gray in mine. It gives it a little more depth, like you can see around her hairline and down here. So this might be a little different. Today I'm going to be using the color combo YR000, YR00, E11, RO2 for her cheeks, and a W3 for the gray I mentioned. And I'm sure this technique can be transferred into other color groups. So let's get started. I'm using Kissy May today from Some Odd Girl. We're going to lay in a base with YR000, and you're going to want to pick just a spot to get started, usually like in a corner or something. You're going to want to try to keep a wet line of color, which this will get rid of anywhere you have about having a streak or a line. Just kind of give little circles. This also makes sure your paper is nice and saturated, which would really help with your blending. Because if your paper is nice and saturated, then your colors just will blend together, really, it seems like, on their own. Which is another reason to color on just like a clean scrap sheet of paper like I am, because then any excess saturation is not going to come back up onto your page. It's going to stay in your scrap. So, got her face and her neck, and simple as that, I have a base laid in. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my gray into the deepest sections with W3. Just right along the hair here, down at the very edge of her face and at her neck, maybe a smidge here under her chin. My light source today is coming from this direction, so that's how I chose where to put my grays at. The next, I'm going in with YR00 to start laying in more of those shadows. And you'll notice that when you go over the W3 with this color, that it really starts to blend it in. It turns it the same color as what you're working with. Alright. And then next I'm using E11. Just getting right up against her hairline. Over here. And then I will go back in and blend with a YR00. A lot of people think skin is really the hardest thing to get right, but I think not the coloring portion maybe, but I think once you find a good group, like a blending group that you like to work with, I think it'll be just a lot easier. So I'm blending everything together. You'll notice since I kept it all really wet that it's all really blending really nicely. And I'm ending over here with her cheeks because I want to go back in now and lay in her blush. So using my R00 or 02 actually, this is how I do it. I just kind of give a nice line and then kind of dot it and lower. And then since she has nice kissy lips today, you get those too. And then, while it's still nice and wet, go back in with my YR000 and just blend the edges in. See how it doesn't take a lot of effort to do that. And there you go. Well, I hope that helps some people today. You can find all the color listings, and last week on my blog I had a lot of different skin combos. You can look at those and try some and see what you like on my blog. Thanks for joining me today.